Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 26.3. Now, as you probably know, this update is currently on its second beta, even though it has been over a month since the first beta has been released. Now, we're expecting this update to be released sometime in February, maybe early to mid-February, but it looks like that probably won't be the case, and we will get this update released actually very soon. So in this video we're going to talk about that and what to expect from Apple in the next few days. Now, as I said, even though this update looks quite big here on numbers, it is actually not a big update. We have a couple of minor changes and of course the usual bug fixes and improvements that go on in the background, and we're waiting actually for iOS 26.4 to be the big update. So once this update is released and you install it on your device, don't expect a ton of new features and changes. But the problem here is the release. Now, Apple didn't release a third beta at the beginning of this week, as usually they would do it on a Monday or Tuesday, and that leads me to believe that there will actually be no third beta for iOS 26.3. So either today or tomorrow we're most likely getting the RC version of iOS 26.3, because we have a date here which I believe will be the date when Apple will actually be releasing iOS 26.3 to the public, and that will most likely happen early next week. Now, the reason I believe that is that the new Apple Creator Studio officially will launch next week. That will be January 28th, 2016. It's basically a subscription bundle which will include apps like Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, Motion, Compressor, and all that. You probably have heard about this, and it will be released, as I said, early next week, January the 28th. And I believe that to be the date that Apple will also release iOS 26.3 to the public, maybe a day earlier. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the calendar. So the 28th will be next Wednesday, so a week from now, but I believe Apple will actually release iOS 26.3 alongside with other updates, of course, early next week. Most likely the 27th or the 26th will be the days when Apple, one of these days, will release iOS 26.3 to the public. And of course the RC must come this week, most likely either today or tomorrow. That's my prediction. I think we're getting a surprise release because we have been waiting for this update to be released sometime here in the first half of February, but it looks like we're getting it a bit early. Now, taking a look at previous days, as you can see right here, all the 0.3 updates, the RC versions, have actually been released earlier in January 16th of January for iOS 18.3, 17.3, 9th, and then 18th of January for 16.3. So I think this is the time when Apple will release the RC version of iOS 26.3, followed with the public release early next week. Now, we have talked also about iOS 26.2.1, which was supposed to be released this week, maybe even last week, late last week, but it didn't happen. Now, that update has actually been spotted and being tested internally by Apple, but it hasn't been released until now. It might be released this week, but I don't think that will be the case. We also have seen something similar with iOS 26.1.1, which had been tested by Apple, but it never was released to the public. So this will probably happen again with iOS 26.2.1. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Expect iOS 26.3 to be released early next week. This is my prediction based on every fact. Taking a look at all the days of previous releases from Apple, we most likely are getting iOS 26.3 released early next week. That is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.